Hello, dear friends. The news is very strong at the moment, but it is only noise. There are rumors that are not meant to inform but to scare. There are many signs, but I don't think the time has come yet. I hope I am wrong. Opinion piece. No blue beam. Teen toys. It's just a movie. Rumors of fear. Blue beam failure. Last roll of the dice. Manipulation games. Holographic projections. Unfounded scaremongering. That's not in the divine plan. Matthew Watt said it would fail. It would be shut down by the galactics. Let's start. Although we are hearing rumors of the Blue Beam project, again to give a scare, there is no credible information that indicates that the Blue Beam project will be executed in the future. But then again, our star family has repeated on multiple occasions that they will not allow the project to happen, as Steve Biko recalls. According to the Storm Rider, the coalition has given a 6-month deadline to disclose all hidden projects such as UFO technology or Tesla energy. If the declassification is not done properly, there are protocols to disclose everything, including a fake UFO invasion with measures are in place. New energy sources would end resource wars. Dr. Carol Rosin claims that the scenario of a supposed alien invasion has been planned since the 70s, as she witnessed it herself. If it happens, I don't think it will last long before the galactics shut it down. As Adamu said, the point is, if we can do all these things and more, do you think the teen toys and patchy favors of your Earth clique will stand in our way? They won't. Blue Beam Project claims that there would be a plan designed by government agencies or elite groups to implement a new world order through the manipulation of religion, technology, and psychology. According to this theory, the ultimate goal of Blue Beam Project would be to deceive humankind by creating a worldwide false flag event that would simulate an ET invasion or the second coming of Christ. Information about Blue Beam Project emerged in the 90s and has been widely circulated on the internet. Alarmism. Mike Kinsey's sources warned that the cabal, in a last-ditch attempt to avoid the end of its planetary control, may organize what in recent years has been called Blue Beam Project. In addition, Zadkiel also suggested that the duck might attempt holographic projection to salvage its flawed ability to influence world events. Mike Kinsey's sources say the duck ones are considering using it. In quotes, the duck and their cohorts proposed to put into action a last great attempt to regain lost ground by faking an ET attack against you. It would be very realistic, and you would perceive spaceships and beings that would look exactly like those you are familiar with. Some ships would only be holograms and would look quite normal. Therefore, you are warned of their intentions so that fear can be mitigated or prevented as much as possible. Scaremongering would be the object of the exercise. Mike's sources say creating fear would be the aim of such an event and is, as you would call it, their latest roll of the dice, and could easily mislead those who are unprepared or ill-informed. If it ever becomes a reality, those of you in the know can be invaluable to humankind in helping to prevent mass hysteria. Be assured, however, he adds, that no action will be allowed to get out of hand, and that the forces of light are waiting, but for karmic reasons cannot directly interfere in such events to prevent them from happening. It would be the only time you would have to face such a situation, in his opinion. Disclaimed. Let's listen to what the Company of Heaven has said over the years about the Bluebeam project and its likely response. Matthew Watt referred to the project as far back as 2008 and said that if used it would fail. In quotes, there are pockets of speculation, even belief, that as a last resort to maintain control, the Dark Ones in power might stage a fake space invasion to unify all peoples in a common fear of supposed alien invaders. From that point on, he adds, the manipulators would impose military law, arrest dissidents on the massive scale, and create chaos never seen before on the planet. While giving no acknowledgement to the many UFO reports, they would try to frame these sightings as alleged invasion plans. What is in chaos is the mentality of those who would attempt such a stunt. There will be no fake space invasion, and you can rely on your benevolent selves to thwart the effort to get the little grays in battle gear out of their underground cities as false proof that visitors would have landed. In 2011, Salusa of Sirius offered a glimpse into the galactics' intention if the Bluebeam project were attempted. In quotes, rest assured that we are fully aware of the Dark's plan to stage a fake attack, and we will make sure it fails. We are given a great deal of authority, and would have been prevented even if a real attack was intended. Our fleets number thousands of ships, and we would not stand idly by and allow your precious Earth to be violated. Most of the problems the galactics encounter in space, he tells us, would be solved quickly by grounding any weapons or ships that are intended to be used against us. We don't have to encounter them in space, as we don't want to give the impression that we are aggressive or bellicose. That would be playing into the hands of the Dark Ones, who have anyway considered creating a fake encounter to put fear in your hearts. As we vastly outnumber their forces and weaponry, it would be utterly futile for them to try to attack us. Salusa assures us that the galactics have never done anything harmful. In quotes, we have never given them reason to fear us, and we are careful not to take actions that would distress them. In fact, over a period of time, we have taken actions on occasion that have helped you solve a problem that may not have been part of your karma. You will know us as the friends we are one day not too far away, and we will go together into an attractive future that holds much promise. Earth dominance is not in the divine plan, and remember, it is not in the plan for the end times, for you have earned the right to ascend, and your free will decision will be honored. The Dark Ones can only go so far as their karma is concerned, before we stop them in their tracks. That is easy enough for us with our advanced technology, and not a drop of blood would be shed. You won't have to put up with the activities of the Dark Ones for much longer, as their days are numbered. Close quotes. Commander Hutton, through Susie Watt, assured that the galactics have the means to defeat the clique's plans. In quotes, I want to debunk the warning that visitors posing as friends are actually regressive entities who want to take over the world. That is false. The grid of light around the planet prevents any civilization with dark intentions from being near Earth, and if the bad guys try to put their own secret craft in the skies and take out some of the greats living underground and claim it is an invasion, we could stop that first before it starts. Reset news. A Japanese general told Benjamin Fulford that it would all be over in the first 10 days of July. This information has hit this RV hard over the last 10 months. If that has not made us stronger, nothing will. Currency holders may be a small percentage, but they are a large group that wants to help humankind. Bangladesh applied to join the BRICS group. Nigeria's currency falls more than 30% after new foreign exchange market rules. Finland plans to withdraw financial aid from poor countries that support Russia. French President Macron asks to join the BRICS summit, and that upsets the US. Peter Schiff thinks the dollar's fall will be much bigger than Yellen warns. Robert Kiyosaki wants that more banks are on the verge of failure. Sim Fu says a recession is guaranteed and the perfect storm is coming because rates will rise, and that will hurt the economy. US fears $859 billion dump from China. China holds a ton of US bonds. Xi Jinping says the future of humankind depends on the coexistence of China and the US. Disclosure operation. On Thursday 1st June at 8 a.m., ISO 20022 of the QFS, a universal language for global financial networks to communicate with each other, was activated. The QFS will be interconnected on computers around the world that would be coordinating currency transactions through the ISO 20022 and a national payment system. The US, Canada, Europe, Japan, Israel, the UK, Taiwan, Australia, and New Zealand are reportedly on the brink of insolvency. 250 cities around the world have reportedly been targeted by cyber attacks on their infrastructure to shut down the financial system and to cause lockdowns and blackouts. The Admiral launched the codes into a highly developed computer system with pre-programmed capabilities. This allowed the computer system to take control of the algorithms, enabling the downloading of the Dubi-1 funds. Wolverine says it has been a long road and we will cross the finish line sooner than expected. The BRICS group will launch its commodity-backed currency in mid-August. Texas reinstates voter fraud as a felony. More science. According to Goldilocks, on 19th June 2023, the Bank of England will migrate to the ISO 20022 messaging system for CHAPS and RTGS. Both are payment systems used in the financial sector to facilitate funds transfers between banks or financial institutions. More than 60 countries use the real-time gross settlements of the RTGS system. This would be another migration effort to the QFS that will link more countries to the quantum system. This would complete the world's major banking system within the ISO 20022 messaging system. The remaining banks have until 2025 to complete this process. This deadline will be met by those interested in financial inclusion. The new mechanisms for the dollar reference rate will be reinstated on 30th June. The main objective of a reference rate is to arrive at an official rate for a currency to provide trade stability between two countries. The exciting part of this transition to SOFRR lending facilities is the underlying hypothesis that keeps the rate at the real value. Gold would level the playing field between countries whose currencies have fallen over the years due to inflation. These new benchmark lending rates are standard protocols that use gold to provide real value through the use of a digital asset-based trading mechanism. The following days and weeks will begin the process of changing the values of all the world's currencies. Gold will standardize the new SOFR rates in our new global community. This doesn't happen in a day, but a global financial reset is on the horizon. Opinion. Buffness said, "Rest assured that the end game is still on. Things are moving and steps are being taken that may prevent an avalanche of bad news. Just be assured that the end game is not yet in sight, nor is the end game being played yet. There are things to do and legal maneuvers that are becoming evident. People need to wake up more, and the public needs to see the bigger pictures than they are. But they are holding up the parade, the many stunted heads. Just rest in the sure knowledge that things will go well for the living beings who seek to recover the morality of right action, and the respect and admiration for the beings who are working to restore law and order. There are things afoot, and you will soon hear about them. There is no way to launch the end game yet, despite the insistence of the emerging prophets. Just continue to be willing to take your part and do the things you must do. The news is very loud at the moment, but it is only noise. The full work is on hold, and the names of the players will come out when the time is right. Not yet. Just because some say it's happening, it doesn't mean the time has come. Just rest, relax, and take part in as many free activities as you can, says Puffness. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.